We're going to get young Daniel's coming on, Terrace. Daniel's son is here. What are you saying, my friend?
Oh, I'm on cloud nine. I'm on cloud nine. We're playing fantastic football. We've got, in my opinion, the best manager in the world at the moment. Man, I'm on cloud nine. I can't be feeling any better at the moment.
Best manager in the world right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
you look at the clubs right now at the moment. Let's say Conte has this Manchester City side. I think with the budget that Manchester City has and the players that he has, he wins the Champions League. And Pep has been struggling at the moment. I think Pep is a very good manager, but I rate Conte extremely highly. And with everything above that, the players that we have at the moment, Kulusevski is fantastic. Son, he was a little bit off it today, but I'm sure he's going to get back to it. And honestly, I'm so excited for the season. I think we could go for big things. Maybe a title race is a bit of a stretch, but I don't think we're in the mix between like the likes of Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal. I think we're comfortably in the top three.
So you think you're kind of clear of everybody else? It'll kind of be City, Liverpool, then you, then
Yeah,
everybody else.
yeah, that's what I think.
It's a great take. I want to get your opinions on Kulusevski. Another brilliant performance from him. More outputs from him. Nearly 100% ratio in the Premier League. What's your thoughts?
No, Kulusevski is a baller. I mean, Kulusevski got a lot of slate when he came in. They started calling him the Juventus reject and all that. Man, he's really proven everyone wrong. And he's so unpredictable. He's one of those wingers that it's impossible to defend. He could go out, he could cross the ball, he could cut in and shoot. He's a fantastic winger, and I think we finally found a winger to not match completely, but a little bit closer to the level of Son and Kane. Now we've got a very balanced front three line, and I'm with Conte now, this club is going to go in the right direction at the moment, and I'm just extremely excited for the season.
Matt, listen, I think Spurs fans have got a lot to be excited about in relation to the future. There's a great feel-good factor. There's a happiness within your squad as well. There really is. Dan, appreciate all your support and coming on and having your say. Top man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Next on the show, Jerome is here with us. What are you saying, brother?
Hey, Terry, how's it going?
I'm good, my man. I'm good.
That's great. I'm doing great. It's a great start for the season. And what I love the most is the intensity is back. This is what I missed the most over 3 goddamn years with Mourinho and freaking Nuno. But now it's all back again. The intensity is all back. I could see it. And the second half, the way Bentancur ran back to get that ball, that was the Pochettino team. That was the Tottenham team with the full intensity that it was before. That's what I wanted to see. But today was just a game that we said we had to win. But next week, this is the real test. We're going to Chelsea. We lost to them 4 times in one season. Let's see how we go there. If you guys are talking about like challenging for the league and finishing easily in top 4, if we can't beat Chelsea, don't talk to me about top 4. Don't talk to me about challenging the league. We have to be going there and make a statement. If we can't do that, don't talk about top 4 and don't talk about winning the league. That's definitely not a thing to talk about. We have to go to Chelsea and make a statement. But if that doesn't happen and we lose again to Chelsea, I am not here to be talking about top 4 winning the league. That's not happening. Because for sure, that's definitely going to be all the top 6 teams that's going to come. We're going to lose against them. That's for sure. We have to make a statement next week. And that needs to happen.
I totally get that. I totally get where you're coming from when you say that, my friend. I really do. Look, I mean, I want to ask you about Kulusevski. What's your stance on him and how good he is?
Oh, man, what a player. Look, the thing is with him, when we signed him, I knew he's built for this league. He's built for it. And the way he's been playing for the last 6 months and now with his game, I think he's up his level. In this game, he's up his level. This season, I think he's going to up his level even more. He's dangerous. He's going to be dangerous. And he's still young, but a dangerous young player. He's amazing. I'm just looking forward to what he can bring to us. I'm like, even Kane and Son, they were poor today. They were poor. Both of them were not that great. But Kulusevski just increased their game that much better. He made that attack so much better than both of them could do. And this is the first time we could say we did not have to rely on both of them. we had other players that would score goals for us, which is even better. So
yeah. Listen, I didn't think they were as poor as that, but I get where you're coming from. That the fact that other people stood up, scored goals, created chances, dominated play is absolutely imperative. Jerome, always a pleasure. I want to say a big thank you again for coming back this season, supporting
no
us.
worries.
And being a member, super chatting, and all that jazz, mate, means a great deal
No
to me.
worries.
It really does. Chat to you
Thanks,
soon, my
Terry.
guy. All the best.
See ya.
Thank you very much
All right.
indeed.
Bye.
Thank you. We're going to hear from Aguna next. Next up, Abdul's with us. What are you saying, Abdul?
Not much. I'm doing good, man. Do you hear me?
I can hear you perfect, brother. Give me your thoughts on that opening day performance and win by your Tottenham.
Yeah, when I seen like the first like 15 minutes, it was kind of like, here we go again. Every Tottenham fan was so excited. And then when the first 15 minutes happened, Emerson Royale preventing the cross from coming in, Højbjerg misjudging the air of the ball, flew over his head, and James Ward-Prowse scoring against us like what he always does. But then I guess it was kind of typical for what Tottenham usually do. Tottenham's usually very good at, retaliating right back. Like usually right after the other team scores, we will have like a 5-minute spell where we're just going like all out attack. We're just putting all of our force. And we came back, and it's good to see that we're having these unusual scores, because this is what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to have more goals coming from our wing backs, from our defenders, from our midfield. All of our goals can't come from the front three. It's not really sustainable. You want your front three to contribute, a majority of the goals, like 50% and above, but you still need a lot of goals from your wing backs. And I'm really excited. I'm really happy for our wing backs. Like obviously we got two new wing backs in Jet Spence and Ivan Perisic. A lot of people thinking Ivan Perisic is going to be like our wing back to start, but Sessegnon's really putting up one of his great performances, and this is what we need. When players come in, whenever we buy players that are expected to start over you, it's not, you shouldn't just drop your performance because you think Antonio Conte is going to start them. This is your time to put up your best performance. And now you're making our team a lot more stronger. So like, even when we're facing Chelsea next week, if we do play Ryan Sessegnon instead of Ivan Perisic, again, nobody's going to really be angry, because, really Sessegnon deserves to start because he had a great performance. Yeah. And if Ivan Perisic plays, it's because he's better. And I think the same for our right wing back. Emerson Royale he got an assist today. He played decent. I think he still needs to be a lot more attacking. I think just like that mechanic of him as a player, he seems to really, he's more prone to defending, because again, it's a lot harder to change a right back to a right wing back, as opposed to Sessegnon, who was playing a lot of right wing, right mid in Fulham. So him playing as a right wing back, it's a lot more like a natural, like a seamless transition of a position. So, but again, for next week, like I know a lot of people will probably play the same wing back, but I'll probably just throw in Jet Spence, even though it's really risky. But and from last year, we've seen that Jet Spence seems to pick up his performances against the big Premier League teams. He seems to have that.
Yeah.
He seems to have that in him.
Look, I think it's really interesting. I mean, Maria Williams here just says that next week is a massive test to see what happens. Last season we took points from City and Liverpool, so you'll never say never. As you say, I think you'll be away next week, won't you?
It's at Stamford Bridge.
Go to Stamford Bridge, put in a good performance, get a draw, get a win, and I think the world will be looking at Spurs very, very differently.
Exactly.
Indeed, I really and truly believe that they will. They really will.
Yeah, this is like, because again, we have a terrible record against not only just Stamford Bridge, just Chelsea in general. They seem to slap us even in our home. So like, this is our time. Like at this point, I know it seems harsh, but I'm only expecting a win. I think a draw would even kind of be a failure, because now it's time to stamp your authority. This is time where now, Tottenham, you have to end the season above Chelsea. It's time to truly show Chelsea that you're kind of moving to that next level. And a lot of our players like Bentancur had a great performance today. But we've constantly said this before, like so many times, like even in the past previous years, when like Tongi and Ndombele would have a great run of stretch, and then whenever we would face a good team like Chelsea, they would just be quiet. So now it's time for these players like I'm Bentancur, and like Højbjerg was okay, but I expect him to start next week because it's a safer option. But these players have to step up. Son always has a pretty bad performance against Chelsea. It's now time for him to step up. Harry Kane, you got to put up a better performance. So like the pressure is on Tottenham now, and I know usually this is when they crumble, but you have no choice. You have to stand up tall, and you have to, because you can say what you want about Chelsea, but Chelsea always seems to, whenever like a big moment comes by, they complete the mission. They always do their job, and now for Tottenham, you have to.
In 20 years, pretty much they have. Abdul, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say.